very warm welcome to our chief guest for the day, Major General CS Mann, AVSM, VSM, Additional Director General and Head of Army Design Bureau. It is my pleasure to introduce him to all of you. Major General CS Mann, AVSM, VSM, is a key facilitator of indigenization and infusion of niche technologies in the Indian Army. He was commissioned into the Armored Corps in 1990. He commanded an armored regiment and an independent armored brigade in the Western Theater. He was GSO-1 of an independent armored brigade, Colonel GS Concept at Headquarters Army Training Command, Director WE-15A at Army Headquarters, BGS at Area Headquarters, and Brigadier Capability Development at Army Headquarters. He has also been an instructor at ACC CNS and has attended the Defense Services Staff College and the Higher Defense Management courses. He has also attended the International Disaster Management course at Bournemouth University, United Kingdom. May I now invite the ADG Army Design Bureau to deliver the special address. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please welcome Major General CS Mann.
DG St. Jose, IMR General Arora, the panelists, co-panelists, and the industry representatives, and the fellow officers. At the outset, I would like to convey my gratitude to St. Jose and IMR for having given this opportunity to be sharing my views with you all. And also, at the same time, also would like to compliment for the conduct of this event, a first of its kind probably, for the very nature in which it is being conducted, facilitating both B2B as well as B2G meetings on quite a large scale, about 330 meetings. So that's quite a bit, and over a period of just about 1.5 days. And the feedbacks which have been coming both from the service officers and from the industry are quite positive. Yes, being the first of its kind, it's a learning process. There would be many teething problems, issues, but then I'm sure in future they are all also going to get covered. But the intent behind this whole thing and the concept as such, I think is very, very good. And especially this is required for the MSMEs. Because when we interact with the industry, there are many of them who are, say, producing the components only, and for which we are not the direct buyers for this as service headquarters. That's where that B2B meetings become very important, because then they have to link up with someone who is actually requiring those components for integrating into the equipment or a weapon platform or system. So I think from that perspective, this is very, very good opportunity and a good platform, especially for the MSMEs and the startups. And I'll say even for the bigger industry also, because they're also then getting their vendor base accordingly much wider. Okay. Now, coming on to the Army Design Bureau, because it is something similar what the Army Design Bureau does. Army Design Bureau being the single point of contact between the Indian Army and the industry, the academia, and the research and development organizations, establishments, and DRDO. So therefore, what we call it as is connecting capabilities. And that's where that who has got what capabilities and how then we are able to optimize on them and get the best possible product for the Indian Army so that we are able to induct niche technologies into the Indian Army. Now to do that, the first thing which the industry requires is to know as to what is it that the Army needs. Because we find that people of various categories, there are some very good young entrepreneurs or enthusiasts, I'll say, who are just graduates from the IITs and all, and they say, sir, I want to do something for the defense, but I don't know what to do. So right from that level to the industry which comes up, say, with some kind of products already available with them and ready to offer it for NCNC demonstrations. So it's a wide range, actually, and we interact with all of them. So the first thing is that to know as to what does the Army want. So we have a compendium of problem definition statements. The last one, which was released during Aero India 23, And the next one is going to get released in the next Aero India. The last one contained good about 110 problem statements, covering a wide range of various technologies, domains, right from AI, quantum, blockchain, communications, ammunition, material handling, habitat, so on and so forth. And in that, already we have been able to start with 56 different R&D/D&D projects under IDEX, MAKE, TDF, and like that. And in 14 cases, the industry has been able to offer us the equipment for NCNC demonstration also. So good about 70 of them out of 110 is where we have already moved ahead. The balance are under consideration. In some cases, we haven't got appropriate solution which we are looking for. So therefore, they will now get carried forward, some of them, to the next CPDS. Then the next thing is about the TPCR. Yesterday, CDS also mentioned. I'll not talk about that. That is something which is common for all the three services. And so far as the indigenization is concerned, what is important is that since we have legacy equipment, while most of it has been indigenized, the components of it, but still there are many of them which are yet to be indigenized. And to give an idea of that, what are those components and how much we need in what manner, for that, last time we conducted a display of this during the DEF Expo. And now in the forthcoming Aero India, again, similarly, a display is going to take place of all those components covering again the entire range, may it be say mechanical, electric, electro-hydraulic, ammunition, communications, optics, sighting systems, and all. So that's where you'll get a good idea, wherein you can actually look at the component, have a feel of it, and realize based on your domain expertise of the industry as to which all components would you like to venture into for indigenization. Now, these are some of the things of indicating our requirements. Now, thereafter, once, as part of the hand-holding of the industry, how we can actually help you in developing that equipment. The first thing is that to actually understand the requirements, that the kind of terrain, the weather conditions in which our equipment is required to operate. Especially because of the high altitude areas, we being, rather having the highest battlefield and being only of the world, being in the country, the challenges are quite different from any other country, especially because of the high altitude conditions, the kind of atmospheric conditions, a rarefied atmosphere, the temperatures going up to -30, wind speeds of more than about 30 knots, icing taking place on the components, and things like that. Because of that, the equipment which is required to be actually designed and developed has to be of a different nature than what is required to operate here in the plains. Now, to give a feeling of this, we conduct the forward area orientation tours for both the industry and academia in about last 1 year plus. Good about 140 different representatives from industry and academia have attended in 25 different locations in the forwardmost areas, where we take you for about 3 to 4 days. You go there on ground, experience the conditions, the terrain, the weather, and interact with the troops on ground, with whom then you're able to actually get to know the kind of problems they are facing over there, the problem statements we have, may it be operational, training, administration, logistics, anything. And that is where then it is helping the industry and the academia to come up with the solutions to those problems. Now, that is to understand the kind of conditions for which you need to develop the equipment. Now, once the development starts, then thereafter there is a requirement of carrying out internal validations, especially say for equipment like drones, which have to operate in high altitude areas. Obviously, unless it goes over there and is physically tried out by the industry, by the developers, you will not be really sure that how it's going to perform when it is actually being tested. So for that, we have been facilitating that, and a large number of industry has actually utilized that facility. They've been going to just reach over there, then our troops there on ground are able to help you get your internal validation conducted. The advantage is that those troops on ground can give you the actual feedback as to what kind of equipment we need and suggest you maybe various product improvements in that this is what, in case you have these additional features in it, the equipment will be more acceptable to the Indian Army. And that's how many of the industries have again then come back, done that product improvement, and then again gone. So it's an iterative process which is helping us to get the equipment which we want, and the industry to know as to what does the Army want and what is the kind of equipment actually required to be developed. Similarly, field firing ranges and all, again, good about 13 odd industries for more than about 900 plus days in this last about 1.5 years, which they have utilized those ranges for any kind of armament or ammunition being developed by them. Now, this is how at various stages the hand-holding is taking place. And let me tell you that even let's say for things like IDA, the Indian Army, and in all those 4 cases, actually the equipment had not achieved what we had initially set for. It was a little lesser than that. But then we have gone in for procurement of limited quantities for the purpose of field exploitation, so that during the field exploitation, we get to know as to what else is required or not required. And also, simultaneously, those startups can keep developing their equipment so that it is finally able to reach at what we were actually wanting. So that spiral development model is the one which has been actually practically implemented in case of these IDEX projects. And then maybe if anyone has got any equipment which you are ready to offer for no cost, no commitment, NCNC demonstrations, okay, not trials, these are demonstrations, wherein what is being checked is only against your claimed capabilities, not against any QR. Once it is checked against those claimed capabilities, and if equipment is able to perform, now it may perform up to those capabilities or maybe even lesser than that, or at times maybe even higher than that. But then whatever it has been able to achieve, in case it is meeting our requirement or adding value to our present operational capability, we have gone in for procurement of those equipment, whereas they were even not part of our annual acquisition plan, based on which otherwise the entire procurement goes on. And that's how during these last 4 tranches of emergency procurement, good about 24 different kinds of equipment worth 3,300 crores have been procured, which were otherwise not part of our AAP, and based on these NCNC demonstrations. And another good about nearly 500 crores worth by the army commanders within their powers in the formations in various commands. So that is where the opportunity lies across the entire spectrum, right from a beginner to the one who has a product. We are there ready to handhold you and will guide you as to how to move ahead. You just need to contact us. And to contact us, you can just Google Army Design Bureau, and you'll get our contact details on that page. And you can just write to us. Thereafter, we'll follow it up with you. And with that, I think I would like to end my address here, and wishing you all the best, and especially Sanjos and IMR for the rest of the event. Thank you.